Hello class and welcome to MSE 608B. It's week 7. We've made it through the week 6 module. Congratulations. The WES organization thanks you for helping put that people-centric leadership program together for them. Now let's take a peek at what we're going to be unveiling for you for week 7. So week 7 is going to be another one of these areas where we're going to spiral down into the organization and we're going to create another component that's going to be very valuable for WES, the Wind Energy Systems organization. Now, the video lectures for this week, the first one is going to be on people celebrations. What does it mean when we celebrate? Why should we celebrate? How often should we celebrate? What are the type of things we should be celebrating? This lecture is a fun one for me to have put together, and it's one that I think you'll find very, very enlightening. It'll give you the chance to kind of look at a new text that I've pulled up called Zap. So you're going to find that I'm going to ask you for opportunities to zap you and other things that are just very positive within an organization. How do we lead people to this opportunity to celebrate successes? Now, the other thing is in our week 7 Wednesday live Zoom session from 6 to 8 on p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to be looking at positive motivation, not manipulation. How do we help people and motivate them but not manipulate them? The difference between the two. And the last component of the leadership challenge, the last section is going to be encourage the heart. And that's where we're going to talk about all of those pieces of it. How do we blend all that together into our organization? So those are the hello class and week. Hello class and welcome to week 7 in MSE 608B. Congratulations on completing week 6. The WES organization, Wind Energy Systems, really appreciates the program that you put together, that people-centric leadership program. They're very pleased with the results from what they see. Let's go ahead and move into week 7 so we can start to look at what we're going to be working on in week 7. So week 7, let's take a peek at the two different lectures that we've got set up for you. The recorded lecture, the lesson plan that's already over there, is on people celebration, and it's a great one. It's one that was fun to put together, and it's one that I think will be fun for you to watch because it'll show you the opportunities available in your organization to celebrate things at a grand level, all the way down to a seasonal level, all the way down to milestones being accomplished, or something as simple as just walking by and putting a post-it note on someone's desk saying, hey, you're doing a great job, thank you. The live presentation that we'll be doing for week 7, that Zoom session, is on Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's going to be talking about positive motivation, not manipulation. How do we motivate people without manipulating them? How do we make sure that we understand the difference between that? How do we understand the differences between certain people? Because some people can feel like you're doing something bad by rewarding them. So there's an R&R structure that we're going to talk about, that reward and recognition piece. And that's blended into our team-based assignments that you've got in front of you below my image. Now, the one thing you'll see is there are absolutely no more individual assignments. They're all team-based assignments. Week 7 is also light in that we want you to start working on your week 8 PowerPoint presentation and your week 8 report. Start to pull that together. Take a peek at what the components of it are. Don't wait until week 8 to try to get all of that accomplished. You want to make sure that you're leveraging the time off that we're giving you, or the lighter load in week 7, so that it gives you a chance to get that bow wave that it's going to seem like to finish when we come into week 8. So for week 7, what we're having you put together is a reward or incentive program for the WES organization. So let's go ahead and pull up some information for you. I'll get the assignment pulled up, and then we've got a template available for you also. So let's go ahead and pull this up. We're looking at a reward system. So that R&R type of activity, what would a reward system program look like based upon people-centric leadership. So based upon a people-centric organization, where we count people being first and we really work towards making them a major component of an organization, we're going to have you working on creating that program. And there's 5 separate reward and recognition elements that we're going to have you put together for us. Okay? We need to make sure that you look at the Everybody Matters textbook. Also, there's a book out there called ZAP, The Lightning of Empowerment. I need you to take a peek at that. I'll give you links to it, and there may be a PDF version that I'll try to make available for you to review, but you can go into Google or any of the major search engines, and you'll be able to find information on the book ZAP. It's a very interesting type of situational type of event thing that can happen, where you create a whole culture in your organization based upon something very, very positive. The ability of anybody at any time to walk up and give someone positive motivation. So in the environment that we're talking about, we're going to have you create 5 different rewards, okay? And they are going to be an individual high-performing people award. That's an instant award. We're going to have you create a STEM award, because in these high-tech environments that we're working in, you've got a lot of engineers, you've got a lot of scientists, you've got managers, you've got leaders, and all of them have technical skills. So there's a lot of technical capability that needs to be recognized, and that's a one-time-a-year award. And remember, these are all based on the WES organization. The next one is going to be a team-based reward for completing of a major milestone at WES. The next one is going to be a divisional-based award. So now we're backing it back up. Now you'll notice that all of the assignments at this point have kind of gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, where we did risk management, and then we did creating a leadership program for a specific area. Now we're looking at how do we create an R&R or a motivational program that can encompass everyone, anyone, anywhere. So we're looking at it, taking it out to the division. It would be 4 times a year at the end of each fiscal quarter, and then one that inspires motivation for people, resources, ZAP, the lightning of empowerment. You're going to create a reward for that. Okay? So we've got good information for you here. Let me go ahead and pull the template up. I want to make sure you understand what the template requirements are going to be. So let's do that. Let me get back over here and pull up that. Here we go. So these are the requirements. I need you to create a reward structure, an instant reward provided by anyone in the organization for WES. What would that reward look like? So I need you to name the type of people and a description of who you would give this reward to. So remember, you're putting the program together for this. You're not actually handing the reward out. You're creating a program, 5 different programs for reward and recognition. The next one is going to be identify the company or group goals that this reward will support. So answer all of these questions. All of these questions must be answered for this to be relevant for you. Okay? So this is the High Performing People Award. Then there's the STEM Excellence Award. You would fill in all this information. Remember, we're creating the program, not the reward itself. The next one is going to be a team-based reward. What would the components of a team-based reward look like? Answer all of these questions and add any information in there you feel is relevant. The next piece is going to be that divisional-based reward for positive divisional performance. Your division is performing well. What would the components be? Take a look at the WES, the Wind Energy Systems background information that you've put together so far. Look at the purpose statement. Drive that down into the business scorecard and KPIs. Those are going to give you triggers. Look at the risk management plan. Are there areas of the risk management plan that can be leveraged in this way? And then finally, the last one is going to be motivation for WES people resources. Just any person in the company. How would we create a ZAP award, the lightning of empowerment, that motivational award? So those are the components that you're required to put together for this program. That is the team-based assignment. That also finishes off all of the major team-based assignments prior to us going into week 8. Remember, week 8 has the opportunity for you to summarize all this together. You're going to pull everything together along with some other pieces, and you're going to create a PowerPoint presentation that you're going to do a live outbrief to me and the rest of the course members, the rest of the class. You'll answer questions from me, and you'll answer questions from the other teams. Every team must participate. Each team must be there for the entire duration. The presentations are roughly 20-25 minutes long, depending on how many questions you've got and how quickly we can get people assigned to microphones, get things moving. Now, the discussion forums for week 7 are going to be based on people-centric leadership and leaderful leadership. We're going to pull at those pieces even deeper than we have before. You're really going to give me the information necessary. Then finally, the last thing that you're going to have in front of you is going to be pages 294 to 314 in the Leadership Challenge, and that will finish off the Leadership Challenge book. You'll have gotten all the information out of that. Congratulations. The next one is going to be pages 224 to 246 out of Everybody Matters. This gives you the completion of this book. Now, many of you have already completed these. You've read ahead. You understand all of the components for them. These textbooks are really meant to set the stage for you so that when you go into week 8, you've got a great framework and reference to be able to talk about all of the components that we're working towards. So this is your week 8, your week 7 lecture. Congratulations, you're almost across the finish line. Week 8 is where we pull everything together. I know you've done a lot of work. I have to tell you that I'm very proud of you, and I think that it is very, very powerful what all of your teams have put together so far. I can't wait for us to get into week 8 and see what you come up with in your presentations and your final report. Have a great week. Don't forget, the team leader this week needs to go ahead and fill out that team leadership report. You need to submit that. I need one of those from every team leader. Even if it's your second time being the team leader, you still need to fill it out for this week. And the final thing is, if there's any problems, issues, or concerns, feel free to talk to me about it during the live Zoom session, or just in case we run into any issues, there's a discussion area in the course module for problems, issues, or concerns. Those can be anything that you want to know about the final presentation, the final report, the peer reviews, any future things that are coming up, or anything that you've got in front of you this week. Don't forget, you can call me, you can email me, or you can text me also. So have a great week 7. We're almost across the finish line. Bye-bye.